Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Monday, July 25th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church in Maplewood, New Jersey. And Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation for you to pause in your day and do just what the title says. Take a breath, take a break, and just breathe and center yourself in God who made you and loves you and calls you by name and even knows you better than you know yourself. Each time we come together, I offer a few reflections on a passage of scripture, and we've been reading our way through the Gospel of Luke. We're at Luke 14, 25 to 35. And in this reading, suddenly the context shifts, and now there are large crowds and Jesus is traveling, and that's an abrupt change. It's done in just one sentence. Large crowds were traveling with him, and he turned and said to them. All of a sudden, we're not in the banquet anymore. And he begins to teach about the cost of discipleship. And he starts out with a radical statement. If you don't hate your father and mother and brother and sisters, then you can't follow me. And he tells a parable. You can't be my disciple. He tells us a couple of stories. He says, who builds a tower without estimating what it's going to cost? Because if you don't estimate the cost and realize how much it's going to cost, you might get the foundation down and then not be able to finish it. And you're in big trouble. So the focus of this passage, and he gives another parable, and I'll lay that out in the time of the guided meditation as well. Have you considered what it means to be my follower? Or have you just joined with me because it's a popular movement? It's a question of priorities in Jesus' teaching right now. So if you haven't already done so, I invite you to go to a quiet place in your house or outside or in some other setting. Settle into a chair. If the room is a door, close the door. Close your eyes and breathe. Breathe in the breath of God and breathe out all that separates you from God. Breathe in the breath of life and breathe out everything that does not give you life. Breathe in God's peace and breathe out everything that does not give you peace, all of your worries, your fears, your anxieties, all the pressures you're feeling in life. Keep breathing deeply and think about the Spirit of God and the presence of God growing around you right now. Maybe imagine it like the waters of a shower, that as it runs down over your head, you feel the Spirit of God flowing down over your head, calming your mind, relaxing the muscles in your face, the muscles of your brow and around your eyes and of your jaw. And then think about it moving down and touching your neck. And the Spirit of God, as God touches, the presence of God touches your neck, becomes such that the muscles in your neck unwind and the tensions float away. And then allow it to move to your shoulders And as it moves into your shoulders, the muscles in your shoulders relax. Your shoulders, if they've been hunched up, drop. And the Spirit of God touches your arms and your hands. And you feel the grace and peace of God. And then it moves down from your shoulders into your chest, and your breathing stays deep and your heart rate stays slow. And it moves into your stomach, and your stomach relaxes. It moves into your back, and the aches and pains of your back are eased. It moves down into your legs, all the way to the tip of your toes. And you are aware of the presence of God's Spirit in every part of you, in the deepest parts of you, even the parts that only God knows. And then take yourself back to the days of Jesus. You're standing in a large crowd and Jesus is walking along, and suddenly everyone who's following him is stunned because he says, "Whoever does not hate father and mother and brothers and sisters cannot follow me." For it's as if someone goes to build a tower and doesn't calculate the cost of building the tower, and they get just the foundation up and run out of money, and everybody in town said, "Look at that fool, didn't figure out the cost." Or like a king who knows he's going to be going into battle and doesn't calculate whether he has enough military strength to take on the army that is coming up against him. Because if he calculates it and figures out he doesn't have enough strength, he'll send to the other king and say, "What are the terms of peace?" It's a matter of priorities here. If you don't calculate these things, if you don't make discipleship your first priority, you can't follow me. If you don't give up all your possessions, you can't follow me. And I don't think he means literally give it up. I think he means in your mind's eye, make it more important than Jesus. People are stunned. You're stunned. As the journey stops for the day, you can't stop thinking about that, and so you go off by yourself, and Jesus comes to you. And I'll be quiet for a few moments while the two of you talk about all that gets stirred up in you about the meaning of discipleship. I don't think he really means hate father and mother and brother and sisters, but it is a matter of priority. I'll be quiet now. Well, then the time comes for the conversation to end, and you can continue this conversation at any time, or you can hit pause. You bring the conversation to an end in whatever way is appropriate, and you allow that image to fade away, and you bring yourself back to the place where you are, and when you are ready, open your eyes. Let's take a break, take a breath for Monday, July 25th. Our reading is Luke 14:25 to 35. If you have feedback for me, or if you want to talk or pray, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.